Hello and welcome back to the most boring Hang on. Something's not right. Cool. That's better. Hello and welcome back to the most boring channel. Hang on, sorry, no, I can't do this. Hello and welcome to the most boring channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Tommy of REDUXION. So sorry for that intro being so inconsistent, by the way. Today is the first of many episodes in a series that I'm calling REDUXION. The series where I go back on a previous video and follow it up with something that I wasn't able to fit in it the first time. Today we review the two headsets that I mentioned in last week's video, the Astro A40s and the Audio-Technica ATH PDG1s. Both headsets retail now for about £130, but do bear in mind that the Astro A40 that you find on Amazon is the 4th generation of A40, whereas the one that I reviewed today is the Astro A40 2nd generation. As I go through each headset, I will be reviewing them on 3 different topics: comfort, sound quality, and mic quality. Now, just quickly as a reference guide, the sound quality will be based through games, music, and films. For sound quality through a game, I'll be using Rainbow Six Siege. As for music, I'll run some MP3s through Spotify, and movies will be run through Netflix. As for the grading system, comfort will be rated out of 5, sound quality will be rated out of 15 as games, music and movies will all be 5 each, and mic quality will be rated out of 20 as I asked 4 of my friends in a PS4 party chat to rate the microphone quality out of 5. It's all very confusing, I know, but all you need to know is that the best possible score a headset can get is 40. With all that being said, let's get onto the Redux and enter first the Astro A40s. Here they are. By the way, the mic isn't going through the headset, it's just going through my normal microphone, just in case you're, an idiot. Now, as for comfort, the Astro A40s, I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5. Gaming sessions for me usually last a few hours and can be up to 5 or 6 hours, and through all that time, these never got fatiguing. They've got these really nice ear pads, and of course there is no head talkie business, which gives it a massive plus. However, the reason I'm knocking off 0.5 is due to the fact that they are slightly heavy. Due to them being a little bit heavy, when I tip my head forward, I can feel them slightly move. That's why they're getting the reduction of 0.5, but other than that, pretty much perfect. Now onto the sound quality, and for games, they get about a 4. There is lots of bass, which is really good because for open back headphones, bass usually isn't the primary target. When going off of reviews and sound graphs, it seems that open back headphones usually excel more in the high end and the mids rather than the bass. But there is heaps of low end, like the amount of bass for this thing is ridiculous, but it's never too much. Siege is a game full of explosions and gunfire and, heavy artillery sounds. The bass isn't particularly smooth, but it's still a nice amount, and definitely a lot more than I was expecting due to them being an open back headset. Footsteps as well were also very easy to detect, and directions from both sides were also really nice. I could hear people coming through windows, I could hear footsteps, and it honestly saved me a good few amount of times. The low end I'd say is still a tiny bit muddy and not as refined as I thought it could have been, and the high ends aren't exactly grado entry. But hey, for games where things go boom, they're perfectly acceptable. Now we're going to talk about movies, which is where it gets sad, because my experience wasn't the best. I watched the first 10 minutes of the best Star Wars film, and everything just kind of felt like wrong. It felt like something was missing almost. Due to the audio, everything just felt awkward, which in hindsight could be the headset, it could be George Lucas's terrible script writing skills.
No loose wire jokes.
Did I say anything?
He's trying.
I didn't say anything.
So movies for me unfortunately only get a 2 out of 5. With proper amplification, they could easily be a 4. I'm not sure. Mic quality gets a 16.5 out of 20. One friend gave it a 5 out of 5, another friend gave it a 4.5, and 2 of them gave it a 3.5. Now let's talk about music, because this was the worst set of headphones for music I've ever experienced. I listened to 2 tracks, Girl Afraid by the Smiths and Schoolboy Q's Num Num Juice. For the most part, it sounded really, really muddy. The mids were terrible, the highs were just basically non-existent, and the bass, for such a bass-heavy headset, it just felt like nothing. It's very hard to describe audio quality when you're just talking to someone, but Imagine your favourite song played at the end of a metal tube.
Number 1 victory royale, yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. 10 kills on the board right now, just wiped out Tomato Town.
Out of 5, for me, they get a 1.5. They would just, I mean, I'm only giving them a 1.5 because I could hear the music, and that's it. But I was thinking to myself, I mean, this is a bit unfair. I mean, I'm testing a headset that should come with an amplifier. Maybe that'll make it all better. And that's what I did. I got myself an amplifier. This comes with the Astro A40 TR, which was released in sort of mid to late 2010s. They've had several generations, much like the normal A40s. And I found this on an app that I've never actually told you about before. I mean, it's not like a secret. I found it on the app Spock, which is kind of like the Facebook Marketplace and Depop had a green child. It's very good, and it's something that I am considering putting into Mr. List. Now I got this on Spock for about 20 quid, but I needed to buy cables on top of that, and that cost me an extra £10. So £30 on top of the 50 for the headset. The whole thing about £80 altogether. But does it improve anything, or does it just make it louder? You know when I said previously, especially in movies, that I thought that the whole thing would have been better if it was amplified better? This makes everything so much better, easily worth the extra 30 quid that you're going to pay on top of the headset. My main issue with the headset without the amp was that it just didn't sound very clear, and the bass wasn't exactly smooth. This smooths everything out, makes it so much clearer, and especially when you have the different settings. I'll put it up on the screen now. There are about 4 different settings, each for different styles, but I just kind of felt that they were all 4 versions of good. I will talk about this button here, the Dolby Atmos button, but it absolutely stinks. It's meant to make your game sound more immersive, but all it does is just put an echo filter on it, and all your footsteps sound metallic. It comes with the game and voice filter on it, so you can have more game volume, have more chat volume, and everything I mentioned before about music and movies, again, so much better with the amplifier. Clearer, the bass is more presented, and yeah, it's easily worth, if you are going to go with the A40s, definitely invest in a mix amp. I'm sure other amplifiers will do the same thing, but this is what I got because it just seemed necessary to do with the review. So yeah, easily an extra 30 quid for the amp, much appreciated. Now it's time to review the other headset that I had on, the Audio-Technica ATH PDG1s. Now this headset, again, I got it for about £50, but the cheapest I found it online pre-owned is about 95 to 100, so it's essentially worth getting brand new because I haven't really seen many pre-owned on Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, Depop, any of the pre-owned stores that I go to. I haven't been able to find any, which is a shame because the sound quality absolutely smashes the A40s inside and out. Everything is so crystal clear and detailed. It just sounds smoother. It's very hard to show you how audio sounds when I'm just talking to you, but oh my god. There is less bass. There is a substantially less amount of bass than the A40s, but the bass that you get is so punchy. It's like nothing goes all over your ears, it just goes in. Again, it's fantastic. Footsteps are much easier to detect, and not everything's in your face, everything's just balanced. It's a really balanced headset. Movies, again, are much clearer and everything's more balanced. Something that I forgot to mention with the A40s, with the amplifier when watching movies, voices and dialogue in general, when it's really loud, like if you turn the whole thing up, it's deafeningly loud when they talk. It just sounds like a bullet going straight into your ear. But this, no problems at all. I was able to get it so loud with just this, because this is what it comes with. Volume up and down, mute on or off, and that's it. It just goes straight into control. It just goes straight into... bendy. It goes straight into your controller. Floppy. And again, music is just so much more clear. Everything sounds like nothing's been taken away, because with the A40s, the bass is there, but that means that some of the mids and the high end are slightly reduced due to it. So gaming, I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5. Movies, I'll give a 4.5 out of 5 as well, and music gets a 4.5 out of 5. For me, I would much rather take better sound quality over big bass. That's just the kind of person I am. Also, mic quality stayed the same or also improved. Some people in my party said it sounded just as good, while other people said it was an improvement over the A40s. So a slight bump in game, music, movies, and mic quality. And I paid less for this. I paid 30 quid less for these. So do I recommend them? No. No. I do not recommend these. Why? Well, I conveniently skipped the build quality, didn't I? And comfort. These are... Look, see? I didn't even try. Look, right, this is how it feels when I take them off. They just flop all over the place with these really terrible, cheap, thin feeling plasticky bits holding everything together. Everything just flops. Right. It feels so cheap, and for something that was originally £200 when it came out, I'm not having it. Yes, it's very lightweight. Picking them up, if you take them off properly, they're a breeze. Like, they're fine, they're really easy to carry around, but I don't care. Only thing I care about is gaming, which, yeah, they do sound pretty great. That's not even the worst of it. The worst bit are the ear pads. I'm not talking about this, by the way. This velvet velour thing is heavenly. It's really, really soft. It actually reminds me very much of my Beyerdynamic DT990 Premiums because, again, this soft, almost sort of cushion or carpet-like material is just the comfiest I've ever felt. And sometimes that can actually be make or break whether you purchase a headset or not, because who's going to want to sit for hours and hours playing games or listening to music or watching films, talking to your friends, if the quality of the comfort is terrible? So yes, this is very plush. These are very plush. But this is the real kicker. It's very hard to show you here, but you see that? That is the thinnest fabric I have ever felt on an earphone. And I don't know whether you could tell, but under this, under here, maybe you can hear that. Yeah, that's the driver. All the metal compartments, all the really horrible heavy stuff, that's in there. And the reason I'm telling you this is because these ear cups are so shallow. When I put these on, my left ear is crushed and squashed between the metal. It is absolutely excruciating. I can't wear these for more than half an hour. I mean, just doing this, I can feel it. Like if you have big ears, like weirdly enough, my left ear is bigger than my right. It doesn't look like it from here, but oh, Jesus Christ. If you've got slightly bigger than larger ears, these are gonna be excruciating. Maybe it will be different for you, but definitely for me, it's such a shame because sound quality, these are much better than the A40s. I mean, you'd think that sound quality would be better than the A40s considering it is Audio-Technica. It's absolutely heartbreaking because sound quality in both games, music and movies, and also mic quality, these are better. So all in all, what do I recommend? It's very difficult for me, but I will recommend the Audio-Technicas over the Astros if you have smaller ears. If you prioritize higher sound quality, especially in the highs and the mids, over big bass, and you have small ears, the Audio-Technicas definitely get my vote. However, if you've got slightly bigger ears and you like a lot of bass, get the A40s. And whatever you do, if you are going to get the A40s, definitely get the mix amp. This thing makes it sound 100 times better. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for waiting patiently. I realized that there was a week gap between this and the other video. The reason for that is that the Audio-Technicas, there was a delay with the shipping, so I wasn't able to get them super early. And also with the mix amp, there were so many cables that I didn't have that I needed to buy from Amazon, and there was just no way that I was going to get the video done on time. Also, it takes quite a lot of time to test both movies, music and games and sound quality. You know, I had to get everyone in a party, I had to test it, and the results are what I got, and I'm quite happy with the results. I'm just sorry that it took so long to get here. But that really is going to be it for this video, guys. Next week, I do hope to go back to a traditional slumming for rather than like a buyer's guide sort of thing. If there is anything you'd like me to go slumming for in particular, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do something for you. I also realised that I've done a lot of audio related stuff. Like I talked about headphones for far too long in my intro. I did cables. I've just done a gaming headset video, and I was going to do Bluetooth earphones, but maybe I should just take a break from that for now. Something I actually need in my house is a surround sound system. So if a surround sound system is something that you guys are looking forward to, then maybe something I can do in the future is that. But honestly, anything you can think of that you want me to go slumming for, that you think is going to be quite fun, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to get ideas. But it is the end of the video, so you know what time it is. I don't even need to tell you. Please like and share this video. Also, please hit the subscribe button. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers, it's mental. But again, if you don't feel like liking, you don't feel like subscribing, but you do feel like sharing, share this video to people with small ears.
#1 victory royale, yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. 10 kills on the board right now, just wiped out Tomato Town.